Hello guys, good morning. I am trainer Srinivas from Seven Sense Talent Solution. Trainer for today's session and for the past 3 to 4 months you're being continuously guided on various soft skill topics and today we have another soft skill for you guys. I think it's nearly 10. We are good to start but I can see very less number of people, so we'll wait for 1 or 2 minutes and please ask your friends to join session so that we can continue with the session. And today's topic is like strategic planning. I hope you guys know that. We'll just wait for 1 or 2 minutes. I hope most of your friends will join so that we can kickstart the session. Yeah, Ali. Yeah, good morning, Ali. Thank you. Good morning. I hope your friends will be joining in some time. Without wasting time, we'll continue with our session because it takes a lot of time to go with the session and it will be incomplete if I start late. Okay, we'll just go with the like objectives. In the session, we will be explaining you how planning and strategic planning helps you out in different domains, like in each and every aspect in your daily life, or when you can relate it to your any domain. It is really important. Why strategic planning has gained so importance in the recent eras, and all we'll be looking into that. Before going into the topic, like, can I get the definition of strategic planning? Like, what do you understand by the word planning as well as strategy? I think you will be definitely knowing the word strategy. What will be there in the planning? What will be? Just a random definition I'm asking you guys so that I think definitely you'll be knowing that. Though it's wrong, no issues, at least help me with the answer. Okay, I will go with that. Strategic planning is nothing but making a strategy as well as giving the plans and the ideas that are need to be executed or implemented, so we can accept the best as well as the we will attain our targets as well as attain our goals and get the best possible result out of that at the end. Okay, this is the meaning of the word strategic planning. Coming to the next one, I think like why it is required. Strategic planning, why it is so important? Like for any organization or any domain, or you can take any corporate or domain or like business fields, like they'll be having certain set of strategies and they will be looking on that, and based on that they'll be defining their strategy, and they're using their what we can say, or they will say that these are the things that are we are doing differently from the others, and we are planning this, and we want to execute this in the coming 1 year, or these are our goals, we should need to achieve, and these are our target sales that needs to be done in this particular financial year. These things it will be there in the strategic planning. They'll be mentioning that, and they'll be thinking of the organization as well as they want to see the organization, and and they want to see where the organization should be like in the coming few days or in the coming years. They will plan all those things in this. Okay. And coming to the mission and the objectives, what is the mission and the objectives? It depends on particular, like what I can say, on each and every domain, and it depends on each and every organization and every sector. It is not like that. It should go in a certain way. It should go in like it has no limits. Based on their requirement, they will set their mission, and based on that, they will set their objectives as well. Okay, like in the mission what we'll be describing is like that what they want to achieve, their visionary goals and their pursuit, and what they want to do in the upcoming future. These things will be discussed in the mission. And on the objectives, they will be having their leaders and all who will be inquiring this in this financial era we want to attain some certain sales targets. They want their financial year transaction should be more than the previous one. They want everything to be in the best, and they want their brand value to be in a better position than the previous years. And they want the customers as well as to be satisfied, and they want to achieve more rather than that is being done in the past 2 to 3 years. Okay, that's why the strategic planning will come into the place in the corporate as well as in the business field. It is like a game changer because the strategy helps them to get where they are going wrong. Like if they are planning any strategy, they'll be definitely knowing their strength, weakness, and how they can improve, and the opportunities. They can look into the opportunities, other opportunities that are there with them. They will look into that. Okay, so the strategic planning helps them in one or the other way. How we can relate the strategic planning to your like the student helps them in one or the other way. How we can relate this strategic planning to your life? Like you used to you as students, I think you can also make the strategic planning. How we can do that? We'll discuss all those things in the coming slides. I think I'm expecting an answer for this. Like, did you get the definition or what is the meaning of the term strategic planning? Okay, we can relate. We can make the strategy for your like student life. We can make the strategy, small strategies like how we can deal with the upcoming assessments and all. You can plan it in that way. Like if the assessments are fast approaching, you can make a plan like you need to study it for the assessments are to be held in the coming week, or you are left with only 7 to 8 days of time for the assessment. You can plan the remaining 7 days. Like if you're having 7 subjects, or if you're having three subjects, you can divide it. Like you can make it and note like that if you're really going bad in some subject, you can give it a more importance rather than the when you're feeling comfortable. You can plan it. When this planning is done, what makes is like it makes you confidence as well as uh, it will give you a self confidence. Like I have been preparing from the past 7 to 8 days on all the topics that I'm going to be assessed, and you will not feel that pressure like previously which I felt when you have made a strategy in an very good and an efficient manner. If you have made the strategy like distributing evenly according to you, particular domain should be given of some importance and all, you will be not in a like dilemma that I have not read. You'll be very sure and be very confident. When you're very confident, I think the success will be definitely be there, because feeling confident and being self confident all the time is more important rather than like preparing for that. When you're self confident, half of the work is done. Sometimes what happens is like that when you don't make the app strategy and you do not take into the consideration that planning is a waste of time and all those things, at that time you'll feel the pressure. And the pressure, what makes the pressure is like it will definitely the self confidence will be not the same when you plan at the time, though you're efficient of getting more like what we can say, though you're capable of doing more things and achieving greater heights, will not perform up to the mark. So make sure that the planning helps you out in an effective as well as in a efficient manner. So Oh, we can relate that to the plan of strategic planning for you guys when you are in the still in your colleges. Okay. This, I think you got the definition why strategic planning is required and how it has played a significant role in the recent era that it is gaining more importance and all. We'll move on to the next one. Like, what are the steps in the strategic planning process? Like, these are the steps that is there in the strategic planning process. What are there? Like, definitely, as I mentioned earlier, they will be having their mission, in which they will be definitely describing what are the sales that needs to be achieved, what is their target for this financial year, what is the turnover they want to look into in this year, because they want this to be achieved. Like, this is only the planning what refers is like, not just like saying that let's see how it goes. We might get around turnover of, we'll take a random small example, 50 lakhs per year. It's not like that. When you make it in a document and in a defined manner, it will be more professional, and you will be working more efficiently as well as effectively to achieve that. So, mission and objectives for any strategic planning is really important. Apart from the other things, it is a basic and the foremost important step. What I can say is like that. Okay, and like not setting the goal or the mission is only efficient. What I can say is like that. For any organization or any business to develop, it should look into the environment, like what is the demand, and based on that, they need to strategize. Like, we cannot say the demand may remain same for the continuously for the next 10 or next 1 decade. It's not the one and the same. There will be continuous basis in the demand as well as supply. Make sure that you look into that in effective manner, because if it is not done, I think whatever the planning and the mission you set, if it is not related to the demand, it will be definitely not well, and it might not sound so good for the others, as well as it will not perform really well. So make sure that you look into the environmental demands and make sure the mission is set based on that. Strategic formulation is like the thing that you need to look into that, and how you plan and how to execute, and what are the like consequences and the difficulties that will be arising in the execution process. These things you need to look into, because if you are not having the idea of what are the difficulties that will be facing when you are going to do those, it will be definitely not so easy. Because when you are prepared for something, if you know that like what we can take an example. If any natural disaster is going to take place in any part of the world, I think for because of the forecasting, weather forecasting, all they'll be definitely knowing, and the concerned team will be definitely be prepared for that. When they're prepared, they face it in a more efficient way, and the deaths number of deaths will also be minimized. This is the one thing that is more important, because when you know the situation as well as the difficulties arising when you are going to do or implement something, and when you are prepared for the difficulties, if it is a new thing, no issues, you can face by one or the other thing. But when you are prepared for the things, the normal difficulties that are arising, you can deal with in a really efficient manner, and you'll be not so stressed, because you'll be definitely knowing that when you are prepared, you'll be knowing how to handle it. When you're handling, you'll be really calm. What you can say, when you're calm, I think you'll be not stressed, and when you're not in stress, you'll be performing your best, and you'll be giving 100%. If you're giving 100%, I think at the end, the results will be really positive. That will be really appreciated by your colleagues as well as your friends, family, and everyone. Okay, that's why make sure that strategy formulation is done in. It's also plays a really vital role. What you can say, these are the 4 to 5 important steps that you need to look in when doing any strategy. And coming to the strategy implementation, it sounds something different. Like, why do we need to implement? Is implementing the final step? Implementation is really important, because sometimes what happens is like, sometimes they will give their heart and soul in the remaining domain, in the remaining what I guess, remaining other few steps, but when it comes to the implementation, it's more practical thinking, and more it takes more time, and it takes more patience. So strategy implementation is really difficult, and it is like the the key area which gives us the possible outcome of any mission. So try to give more time as well as be really patient when you are implementing some new things because you are also not familiar with that one. If you are familiar, it will hope it will be going good. If it is not familiar, what happens is like that there will be some new difficulties arising. You might not get the possible result up a particular at the end of the day. But be patient and work on that and try to reset your mission and objectives. Try to see where you are going wrong. This can be got when you made a strategy. Like when you're implementing, you might get you feel that I'm going wrong here. When you have done the planning, then you can make the changes. When you're not done anything, when you're not done your homework only, then how can you come to know that where are the things, where is the root cause of that issue? So make sure that planning is damnly required because without that you can't get the root cause of the issue. Make sure that you look into that. Okay, that's why the implementation is really necessary. Coming to the next one, like, oh, in the planning, what are the important steps? Like, I am going to plan something. We can take a small example. Like, like everyone will be having a dream to build a house, or they want to get into some reputed organizations. They want to work there. Like, what is the initial step you do? Like, you'll be when you're going to build a house or something, you'll be definitely going to gather all the facts. Like, what is the cost of the particular commodity? Okay, if you want to get into some particular organizations, you will gather the information. Like, what is the in-hand salary. Definitely, you'll be looking at the in-hand salary. They might say no for me. I think everyone will be looking at that at nearly in first three. What I can say, out of 10, 9 of them will be definitely looking at the salary, and they'll be looking at their like what is their role and how the career goes in that. These are things that you need to look in. When this is like this is a plan. It can't done be overnight. Like it is one day you will do all that and leave it. It is not like that. You need a plan to be executed for continuously for at least a year to crack this or to attain those things. Like, and you will make some decisions on that. Definitely you're having a lot of options because of the modern facilities and all. You'll be definitely like you'll be having nearly 10 to 15 options when you're looking into each and every domain or every field. What happens is like that when you're having the maximum number of options, like you need to make the best possible decision because sometimes what happens is like I will give an example. Like we will take an example if you want to get into any reputed organization. I will not take the names. I will just we will take it as X, Y, Z. Let us take an example of only three. All of them are offering the same. It depends on each individual, like how they want it. But I am just giving an example so that you can know it in a very efficient way. I'll take an example of the organizations X, Y, and Z. All the organizations are pay or the pay scale is the one and the same, but all, the role is also the same. But the career is really good in the X. Sometimes some might see that although I might join this, I think I have a really good career in this in the upcoming years rather than compared to X and the Z. Depends on each individual. Sometimes they might not think so much. I think most of them are thinking of the career itself. Or if we'll take an example, another example, like if X is offering very low salary, but it has a very good career, and Y is offering the maximum one salary, but the career is not so like good. It is intermediate. Then sometimes there will be a dilemma for you guys to go with which one. At that time, making of the decision is really important. Okay. Then coming to the SWOT analysis, I think previously we had taken a session for you guys on the SWOT analysis itself. Like for an 1 hour, we had taken the session for SWOT analysis. Like I can I get the like what is the meaning of SWOT analysis? At least I think you definitely knowing the what is it stands W and O and T. All the organizations are performing the same. What are the meaning of SWOT analysis? What does SWOT analysis? It's an easy way, easy to guess, man. At least I'm expecting an answer at least from one of you guys. What does it mean? Like, it stands for strengths. You'll definitely give to, like, you'll be, when you make a decision, you'll be making a decision based on your strength, weakness, and the opportunities. Like I said, the career is really good in one particular organization, and the threats. Like, threats will be looking at the last because you will be know, yeah, definitely each and every domain. We can say threats will be definitely be there. Yeah, but SWOT analysis, that's just easy. Just an easy way, easy of the easy ones, guys. You concentrate, try to concentrate more because if you're not, this was the topic that was done for the entire 1 hour. Sorry, guys, earlier. Okay, let's take it forward. And like you will gather in information and will make the decision and all. Then you will look into their stakeholders, company's performance financially as well as on a yearly basis, and how it is been growing yearly way, whether it is improving or not, whether it is facing any financial crisis. These are things you will look into that before making any decisions. Okay, and you'll be definitely looking at the limitations and all, and you'll be definitely looking at the trend. Sometimes what happens is that the trend plays a major role. Sometimes what happens, we can see that uh, many organizations sometimes will be really doing really well in a particular 2 to 3 financial years, but sudden there will be downfall for them because it all happens because of the, like, what I can say, the economic and the social trends. It keeps on changing. So try to concentrate on that. Based on that, make your decisions and make your plan so you get the best possible result. As I mentioned earlier, the most important tool to make any strategy is like the SWOT analysis is the one. Like, it plays an internal as well as it really plays a very important role. So make sure that you try to do those things very easy and an efficient and a time saving manner to make your decisions and plan it in an effective way. Look into your strengths, weakness, opportunities, and threats. It gives you the best possible results. And like we can say, like we will plan any strategy means what are the elements that we need to look into that. Like like everyone will be dreamt of, like they want to do, they want to become an engineer, I want to become an government servant. They'll be having their own visions. It depends on each and every mindset and perspective and their skills. Based on that, they'll be thinking that I want to do, they have dreamt of. And is the visioning only sufficient for achieving, for planning and all? Visioning is the basics of basics. Like initially, what I can say, it is like just it is an initiation to do something. Vision. If you are not visionizing yourself to what to do in the coming few years, then I think you are not in the right track. Try to visualize yourself what you want to do in the coming years. Try to set a goals at least and try to work on that so you can do one or other thing in your daily life and work on that so that you achieve that. When you achieve that, it will be really an very pride day for you as well as your parents, and you will be respected each and every where you go. They will treat you in a very good way. So try to visionize, try to look into the things, try to make the strategies. If you want to make a strategy, visionizing yourself is really important. And coming to the missions, like visioning, everyone can do that. Coming to the missions and the objectives, try to set the objectives. If you want, we will take an example of we'll take some other domain example. Like if you want, just a minute, guys. Yeah, like in the object is based on your like we'll take an example. If they want to clear any central exams, or you want to get into some public organizations. If that is a vision of you, we'll take an example of a random. Yeah, we'll look into that. Yeah, we'll plan it. Like visualizing is not the final thing that you can do. You will set some go. You will set some, like, you will just visualize. And sometimes when you are asked, when you are be asked by your friends, families and relatives, you'll say, I want to get into the government sectors. But like that is a vision of yours. Then coming to the like steps or the mission that you are working on, it is not being done. Then how can you expect that you reach that particular goal? So make sure that you plan it. Like in a mission, you set the things and what needs to be done, what are the things that you need to collect, and how, what are things that needs to be given more importance. What are the books I need to collect, where are the sources I need to get the information and all. You need to look into that. And coming to the values, like for every organization there will be certain set of the values and certain working working style. It will be differ from one another organizations. Look into the values and plan the strategies according to that. It is the four key elements that you need to look into that before planning any strategy. Okay, because it will give a better and then a clear cut idea that what are things you need to look into. Okay. Yeah, we'll take what is you understand by selling your vision. I said visionizing yourself is important, but how to sell your vision, man? Is it that easy to sell your vision? What does it mean? I'm expecting an answer so that we can continue with that. I will give you 30 seconds of time. Please think on that and let me know. I will take an example to explain you guys. I am not getting an answer from you guys. Selling your vision, like we'll take the example of your college life. It's my college as well as everyone will be in your school also. You can take an example. Selling your vision, like in the colleges or in your like education field. What I can say, definitely there will be teacher who will be guiding you know particular set of concepts and all. They are selling their vision, like they are trying to get you some concept that you are new. What happens is like that it is not so easy because in the class there will be each and like everyone grasping power and all will not be one and the same. One might get it at a single shot itself, but others might try to they will take more time. They will take we can they might take nearly 2 to 3 times they might to get it, or they sometimes they might not get that event concept though trying to explain it in a very efficient manner. So at that time, what happens is like we need to look for different aspects and different and teacher will give you different examples. He will come up with some new examples, and he will get taking one or the other example. He will try to convince the whole group and try to at least get the basic of that to the entire group. So selling your vision is really important because when you want to like I don't know while if you want to work in any corporate or in a corporate especially in the corporate field, like the if you want to become if you aspire to become some of the better positions, you want to become team leader and all, you'll be definitely having the strategy like how you do if you are in a meeting and some of them are might not getting that what you're trying to convince them. You need to have certain like examples in your pocket so that you can deliver it at on spot and make sure that at least they get the basics that what you are trying to convey to them. When you have that courage in you, will be definitely be there only you have done the planning. Okay, when you are having the backup that this might arise, I need to prepare on that. When you have done the homework, you'll be definitely getting to the. It will be a very easy way for you to deal with that sort of such situations. And coming to like I explained you how you want to cope up with your like how do you want to cope up with the other guys who are not getting you at the particular point of time and all, and how long your goals take to reach. Like sometimes we can I mentioned here like 1 to 3 months. Sometimes it may take nearly 12 months and all. It will take it is a process, like it is not like it is a chain reaction where you will be like planning. You will be getting the internal stress, you will be knowing your positives as well as the negatives, and based on that you will check your and you will be continuously checking whether short term goals are being achieved or whether your long term goals are being objectives are being fulfilled, and whether you are on the right track, or do you need to change or we need to make some changes. Because in any organizations they'll be having the meets at 3 months or 6 months usually. They'll be definitely made to look into their progress and what are things that they have covered in the past 3 to 6 months. When they look into that stats, if it is the stats are going in a positive way, they'll be definitely feeling good. But when it lacks or when it is like not up to the mark, they will try to plan it like they'll try to change the strategies, try to bring on the new strategies, try to boost you up, try to give you your self confidence, and all these things will be given based on the strategies. And they'll try to change the strategies because they will be following it up, so they're getting where they're going wrong. When they're got with the root cause of the issue, they'll definitely get the best possible result. Okay. And like benchmarking, what do you guys understand by the word benchmarking? Like, what do you understand? The benchmarking is nothing but like setting yourself like high standards. You know that you're capable of doing one thing, but try to set the goals a little higher. Because if you will take an example, like if you are achieving a constantly a good performer, you are getting nearly 60% of your like what I can say NPS. In corporate there will be an NPS and all net predator score like on every month. Try to you will be definitely knowing that you'll be getting definitely more than 60%. Try to set your benchmarks or your goals a little high, make the strategy on that, and try to see and compare the result with that, and try to check where you're going wrong. Definitely you'll get the best out of you and you will achieve great heights, and it will be really good for you to develop as a person and all. So make sure you keep the benchmarks in a high position. Okay. Yeah, sometimes why we fail is because sometimes you will think that planning is a waste of time and all. That is the reason cause of failure for some of them. It's not like that. Try to make the planning or the strategies that are required. Though it might take time initially, but planning helps you out in a lot of ways. As I mentioned, it will give you the negatives where you're going wrong. If you are going wrong, it will help you to find the root cause of that particular issue. When you find the root cause out, you can ask with the help of your friends, families, and your colleagues so that they can guide you in that particular and you can get you out of that. So planning is really important. So make sure you plan and strategize everything in an effective manner. Yeah, as I explained you earlier, like the strategy formulation and all. The strategic formulation, like I have mentioned you, like try to like each and every field is filled with the competitors and all. Try to make sure that you deal with them in an effective and try to encash the weakness that the rivals are having. Make sure that you work on that better. Uh, we can take an easy example for this. uh, you definitely knowing that manufacturing sector has a lot of car makers and all. There is there is one organization X today is really offering the automobiles that are really like we can mention it as efficient cost, but the build quality is not up to the mark. What happens is like that the other organization has encashed that, and it is the same, and it is giving the same quality material. And oh, no, not the same quality material. I'm sorry for that. It is giving a better one, better quality at the same price. Like they're encashing the weakness of the others and try to make that into a profit, and they are being succeeding in that. They are doing really good because in the competitive market to survive, you need to have one or the other thing that others don't have. So try to work on that and try to like utilize that particular time because you never know when your competitors might get your weakness and they overcome you. Try to work on that. Try to see what best can be done and try to get the best results in a very less time. And coming to the evaluation and the control, like why it is important in strategy planning? Why do you need to evaluate ourselves in, when you do any strategy? Is it so necessary, guys? I'm expecting an answer from you. Is it really important to make any strategies and all? And for strategies making important, but evaluation is it so important? Yeah, I will give a clear cut picture now. We had look into the steps. Like evaluation can be done when you will evaluate, like in your exams, you'll be evaluating based on there will be what you can say. There will be I just there will be some certain set of key answers. Yeah, key answers. What I say, key answers is the one thing they'll be looking to while evaluating you. Like the key answers will be definitely there when they have planned it. The okay when they are really strategically planned that when you face the examinations after that, your unit to be assessed based for the particular people. The key answers will be ready. If they are not strategized and they have not planned everything in an efficient manner, there will be no key answers. There is no key answers, and the evaluation cannot be done. If the evaluation is not done, the outcome is not so good. If the key answers are not there, like each and every faculty or the evaluator will evaluate on his own basis. Those both of them are written the same answers, but because of the absence of the key answers, one might get more marks than the other one. These are the consequences that we face when you are running a big what can I say, big organizations, big public sectors and all. So they plan and strategize everything in a precise way because they don't want the consequences, because though it might look really small, but once the issue is in the public forum, it is really difficult for any of them to get out from that. So strategize yourself if you want to. Like if you're planning for anything, give a definite and app strategy. Define the parameters. Like defining the parameters is really important because based on that, you are defining a parameter for an organization. Like you want to achieve, every individual should achieve an NPS of around 80%. You define the parameter. Okay, if you're not giving the parameter itself and every individual will be thinking that there is no parameters, then why do I need to get 80%? I will get 20% because there's you are set no parameters for evaluation. So it's really important for an organization as well as for you guys to evaluate. You not evaluate, you should have a set of parameters. When it is mentioned, it is really good. And you don't need to mention the target values. Like what needs to be achieved in that particular if it is related to something sales and all, and like try to measure the performance of each and every individual. Okay, and coming to the predefined standards, like and compare with it the standard results, like your competitors will be. Just a minute, guys. Yeah, and based on that, you will definitely having the competitors in each and every field. Try to compare your results with them because you might feel that you might be performing really well when in a small bunch of group. But when it comes to the like big sectors, you'll get to know that where we are standing and real things appear in a very easy way in just a short time. And based on that, make necessary changes. Okay, that's why evaluation is really important. Coming to coming to the hierarchy levels of strategy, like I gave a clear cut idea of how to make a strategy for not like we are taking small examples like how we can strategize ourselves so that we can get the best results. Best results and all. And coming to the hierarchy levels of strategy, like the strategies will be different for each and every domain and the field. Like as I mentioned earlier, the corporate level will be having a different strategies. They will be strategizing. They will planning everything in a different manner. Business level works on a different strategies. Hardly departments work on different strategies. They will be having their own set of standards and all. Okay, based on that, they will set their like strategies. I'll just give an like overall briefing because explaining a lot about company levels or the corporate level strategies uh, might think that why it might feel so hectic for you guys. I'll just go with the like briefing. I'll just give an overall idea or like how they'll strategize themselves for any like project or for any financial year. Okay, coming to the corporate level strategies, there will be like five strategies we'll be looking into that majorly trying to reach as well as the competitive contact, managing activities, management practices, and and like corporation. Like they will be trying to reach. What is the term mentioning? As I said earlier, like they will try to reach their goals, their what I can say, their mission, their objectives. They'll be working on that. Trying to reach is the foremost thing. Each and every one will be looking into that. Though might succeed or they might not, but they'll be continuously working on the things. Uh, that is the one that is given more important. That's why it's mentioned in the first. The try and try reach it and everything. And the competitive contact is the one thing. Like as I mentioned earlier, if any organization will take an example of the manufacturing sector itself, the other organization has NCAPs, like they have capitalized on that and they're providing the same at the better quality. That is what the terms means competitive contact. Try to look into the competitors and do like just try to take the advantages of the negatives they have and try to work on that and try to get the best out of that. Okay, because if you're delivering it at the same and efficient cost, you'll be getting the best results. And coming to the managing activities and all, why do you need to manage the activities? Sometimes the overall activities like we'll take an example of okay, if we take an example of the corporate, it will be a really big one. Okay, we'll take an example like we'll take an example of BBO. It will be really easy for you guys. There will be some chat agents and some super experts and some trainers above them, and above the trainers there will be the HRs, and above the HRs there will be the team leaders. Like to run the whole show, one guy needs to coordinate with all of them. Like the chat agents cannot go and coordinate with the team leader itself because when you take an example, before there will be 100. If there are 100 chat agents, there will be 20 super experts. For 20 super experts, there will be like 2 to 3 HRs, and for 2 to 3 HRs, there will be one TL. If the 100 chat agents are trying to go and share the things that they have done, they are working on that. Oh, it will be a lot of time. They will make sure that things done by the 100 chat agents is being passed on to the super expert. The super expert, 20 super experts will be passing on that to the 2 HRs, and the 2 HRs it will be definitely it will be very easy because all the work that is consolidated by all the team is being delivered to the TL at the end in an effective way. Like this, managing the activities is really important. They will strategize in some way. Each every organization it will be different. But I just give an example of some BPO. Okay, and the management practices like they will be looking at how to manage, and sometimes it will be having many other what do I can say? They'll be having some other sectors to look into that, and based on that, they need to manage, and they need the corporate, like they need the cooperations of each and everyone. They need to identify their sometimes they need to be successful for their long term goals. Though they are lagging in their short term, but sometimes if they are achieving in their long term is going good, they still might continue the same strategy. Okay. Oh, sorry for that, guys. Just a minute. And coming to the business, sorry for that. Sorry for the interruption. And coming to the business level unit strategy, like if you are having some random small business and all, like there will definitely be the strategy for that also. Like in the small level business, what happens is like definitely you'll be thinking the strategies that whatever they'll be definitely looking at the whatever rail is doing. Based on that, will be manipulate the changes in your demand. Based on that, you look into the sectors that need to work on, and based on that, you will take the action and try to get the advantages of your competitor and try to perform well and try to get more business rather than your competitor. These are things that will be done in business level strategy. And coming to the function level. In a function level strategy, what happens is like in some of the like I think you have learned you'll be knowing about research and development organization that is the centralized one. In that they'll be definitely working on some of the new things like in the science and in the space field they'll be doing some research and development in each and every sector because they want mankind to have to live a better place and want them to save their time and be really lead their life in an effective way. So there is an R&D team that will be continuously working on in different organizations and in different divisions and in each and every department it will be definitely be there because without R&D team, uh, you will be doing the same thing. If you are not having that, the same thing might continue for the next 20 years because of the team. It might change any day. So the research and development team will be having its own strategy because I gave an example of why R&D team because they'll be having like the immense strategies that nobody will be having and they'll be under so much pressure that they'll be working heart and soul for the development of the whole country as well as for the whole mankind. Like it is the functional level strategies are really practiced at the higher level organizations like in a centralized centralized government sector should be there, and it is like some high organizations, and it is for the development of the good as well as well-being of the mankind. And coming to SWOT analysis, SWOT analysis, what will get to know, guys? Like your strength, weakness, opportunities, and threats. You'll be knowing. Based on that, you will analyze yourself. You look into the environment, how it is working, and how was the demand, and how are the changes I need to do to get the best possible result. These are things you need to do. Do the SWOT analysis is the best and the efficient and the time saving manner to get the best possible result. So make sure that you do this analysis. and like the same thing is mentioned. Like capitalize on the strengths, like on a SWOT analysis, yes, stand for strengths. Example such as patents, strong brand names, good reputation among customers. Like these will be strength of some organizations. Like you can say they will having their patents, they are having the brand name is the one thing that you need to maintain. Though you are losing your market and all, but the brand value is the one that keeps you in the competition. Because if you are having the brand name, you can get into the competition even after 2 to 3 years. But if the brand name is damaged, though you might do the entire everything, each and everything, you might not get into the like competitive field because once you lose your customers, it's really an impractical way to get back to them or try to convince them. So make sure that you don't do those things. And coming to the weakness, like what are the weaknesses that needs to be looking for in your organizations? Like sometimes what happens like the patents might be like stolen and so the brand name is not going running well. It is a really a bad signal that if the brand name is damaged. I think they are in the risk of their life. And if they are giving almost a negative feedback each and every time, and like it feels so, it is not so easy. If you are getting a negative feedback from the customers, no issues. But it is being if it is being continued, and if you're not strategizing, if you're not implementing and taking into consideration of that, it's a really bad sign for you guys because customers are the king. They want everything to be done in an efficient way. Okay, and try to like sometimes automate like some particular organization they will not to distribute the power. They will not be like so open that they will think that it's not the time. Let's wait for the right time, and they might end up not distributing the power, and they will not look into that. And the time comes when they will think that okay, I should have taken the steps that were I thought at a particular point of time. So make sure that you look into those things. Weaknesses or really weakness is not like a wrong thing, but these are the steps you need to look in and make the necessary changes because if you're not changing that, if you're not looking into that, I think no organization can survive. So make sure that you look into the weaknesses. And coming to the opportunities, this is the one thing that everyone should look into the most because opportunities don't come again and again. When it knocks the door, try to encapture it, try to make sure utilize it in the best way because for any domain, we'll take an example of any like online shopping and each and every sector. If an unfilled customer is there, definitely there is a demand. If there's a demand, if you are having the capacity, if you are having the certain set of the skills to fulfill, you will be definitely be honored, and the customers will definitely give you their support. If they are giving your support, you can. I think that's the best thing you can get because the opportunities are not so easy to get in this era. And if you are like thinking and if you are working on that, if you try to implement new technologies, if you are a business or if your corporate is going well, you can implement some money on that, make some necessary research and make it in a more efficient and a time saving manner. Okay, apart from this, like what are the other things where you can see the opportunities apart from this one? Okay, coming to the next one, the threats at the end. Like what happens is like threats are not the words that what you understand. Sometimes threats are things like there will be continuously change in the customers as well as the whole words in see in the last 20 years you might see a lot of difference from how the whole world worked previously then now today how the technology has made an advance that everything we can attain at our fingertips. Like see the whole working manner has changed, everything has been changed. Like earlier we need to go to the what can I say, because of the COVID effect and all, a lot of things are now being changed. The education has been become online. Their work from facility has been extended. These are things that are changed. These are like not expected, but you need to have the plan and a strategy how to cope with that, because it was not expected, but now still we are facing the same situation, but we are somehow dealing with that. And sometimes what happens is like the customers taste, the customers will be expecting more from particular organizations or the domain they are looking into. That when their expectations are not met in a, like in a period of like 5 to 10 years, they'll be expecting when you provided the best service in the past 10 years, but now the customers think that something is lagging, because for the past 5 to 10 years they are using the one and the same, but some other guy is offering them a better features, better facilities and all. It will make them to shift purposefully. It is not like because customers want the value for their money, the best thing, and the value for the services. They want the respect. They want to be treated in the best possible way. They want to be honored, because they are investing a lot of money. And if you take an example of any the customer, like most of the customers will be dreaming of buying a car and all. If they are being done and they feel providing it at a very good cost and affordable one and in an economical way, they will definitely shift. It's not like that they will stick to the same thing. So look into the threads, like what are the changes that are being advanced, new regulations, and what are the products that needs to be changed. And we need to, like, these are things that needs to be looked into. These are things that needs to be given more importance in the threads. Okay. And coming to the reviews, like I said earlier, like the reviews will be definitely be done in any corporate in at least for 3 months or 1 month. There'll be definitely be strategic reviewing process. In the strategic plan process, reviews has some steps. There are nearly like 6 steps, 6 good steps. Like gathering the facts initially, analyzing the SWOT, reviewing the inputs, what are the inputs that are given, and what we're getting at the end. And the strategic matrix, you need to look into that, defining the strategies again, final reviews. Sometimes you'll gather the information from the customers, competitors, industries, like every possible way you'll gather the information, you will analyze external opportunities as well as the internal. You look into strengths, weakness, and make the strategies where you're going wrong and all. At the end, you will give a review, like analyzing all the we are in this place or in this uh, situation. Like after that, you will again combine your you look into the opportunities, like what are the lookings, is there any opportunities, what are our strengths. We should look into our strength and weakness, threats and all. We will again look into our strategic matrix. We will redefine the strategy sometimes, because when we are not getting the best possible result, then why you are sticking on the same plan? You will definitely review and redefine the strategies that are being made. And like you will change the objectives, you will change, you will look into the short term and the long term plans to how we can achieve that, and all these things you'll be doing, and final reviews will be done again. And if the again the review goes wrong, I think most of the time it will be a positive one, because you have because of the strategic planning you had done, you'll definitely find the root cause and where you're going wrong, and do the rework and work on that in an efficient way, so that when the second review is done, you will definitely getting the better results as well as attaining your goals in a best way and all. Okay, and like these are the things advantages because of the planning. Efficiency will be increased, like risk will be reduced, and learning and the reputation of the brand will be definitely being increased in the period of time. So efficiency will be increased because we will be reviewing yourself, analyzing where you're going wrong. Yeah, like try to make the customers more satisfied if they are not being. Try to reduce the cost if it is being more, and try to offer better and try to bring a better product with the better quality. These are the things that will make sure if you have done a strategy. And like strategic is like sometimes advantages will be for the provider and produce it to the market as well, and transfer of prices will be there. Sometimes it will help you to gain, and in the risk, what you can say, the risk will be minimized sometimes, because you are planning everything in a very good and effective manner, and learning will be definitely an option for all of you, because you will be learning one or other thing, because you need to review and make the changes. If you want to make the changes, you need to know that in a very efficient manner, and like reputation will increase, because if you are doing all those reviewing and all, and try to look into your threats, weaknesses and opportunities, and try to, if you are trying to like inculcate some of the positives out of your weaknesses and all, you will be definitely, I can mention, ensure is that you is like your reputation will be definitely be increased. I think we are done with the most of the things I need to say for you guys, and really thanks for the patient listening for the past 1 hour. Thank you guys for the session. I'll just pasting the feedback as well as the attendance. Please fill that, because it's really required. And really thanks for the patient listening. Try to be more interactive, guys. And here is the feedback. Sorry, the attendance. And this is the feedback form. Try to fill both of the forms. And thanks for the session, guys. Hope we will meet in the next class. Thank you.